Hey, welcome to an edition of In the Chute. As you can tell, the master chute pusher is with us. So, Kaylin, what kind of questions do you got? Please make them easy. Don't make this hurt. She's sitting right here.
There's a reason why we asked Mom to be here today, and it's
No, you asked Mom to be here.
the team effort. It's
I have no
because
idea.
she likes decorating and stuff like that. So my question is, Mom, Dad, what are your thoughts on stuffed longhorn heads like taxidermied on the wall, cattle hide rugs, and other ranching decor?
Tacky. Dumb.
I
This
guess
is
it depends on the room and where you're at.
See, that's why I asked Mom to be here, because you and I would have said the same thing. We're
The
like,
only
nope, it's dumb. I hate it.
Okay, the only thing that we've got that's anything like that is a set of longhorn horns with leather wrapped around, the base where the skull would be on a plaque. And the
Mhm.
only reason we have that is that hung at Grandpa Wayne's house, my dad's dad, for years, decades. And it was a gift that dad gave him. And I can remember dad making them. And that's the only reason they're here. That's the only reason they have anything to do with sticking around, because there's that sentimental part of me that I remember as about a 4-year-old
Mhm.
dad boiling those horns down. And dad did some really good leather work, but he was boiling those horns down so he could get them inside of this form or to secure them so that he could put this leather around them. Things weren't working well, and he was cussing and ranting
Dad,
and
he wouldn't do
raving.
that.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I can remember. I mean, this fog of steam all through the kitchen
And
because
some of it
the
was coming from
pot was
Grandpa's
boiling.
ears.
Well, it might have been, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, this place was just dripping in humidity because it was fighting it so long trying to get it to work.
That
And when
sounds
I
horrible.
see those horns, I think of them being on the wall at Grandpa's place at the ranch, the old ranch house,
Mhm.
where they sat there for literally it was decades. And then when Grandpa come to live with Mom and Dad when he got Parkinson's and couldn't really kind of take care of himself, so those horns came with him, and
Mhm.
so they've been hanging here, and
Yeah, you
they're
want to hold
gonna
on to
they're
it.
gonna hang on to here.
Well,
So
and the other thing too is they're long, like you said, they're like a longhorn horn, and we don't
yeah,
have longhorns, so there's
we don't have
really
no.
otherwise we wouldn't really have that. We're like, no.
No.
No, but we don't have anything like that. That's any decor. Friend of ours, Eric hey Eric, bought or was looking for a couch, and he was telling me about it, and it was a leather couch, and you could see, I don't know why they would have done this, but you could see part of the brand on one of the critters that was used
Mm.
on this couch. And he goes, "What do I wanted somebody's brand on my couch for?" And the guy was the ultimate salesman. Goes, "Oh yeah, that's the coolest thing in the world, having a brand on there." Like Eric goes, "No, it
It's
ain't. No,
authentic.
that's stupid." Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, what happened was they probably had a beef cow that they're like, oh, what are we gonna use the hide for? And they threw it on there and like, oops, it's somewhere you can see it. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
think
just
it was
yeah,
an oops in the
it was an ooh,
design.
well, or
Yeah.
somebody who was building furniture in that factory that day just didn't care, and
But Mom says it depends on the room. So Mom, could you elaborate?
outhouse.
Well,
I
he
belong
he
in the
took all my
outhouse.
time, so I probably can't.
No, we
But
have 15 minutes. You have 11 to go.
oh,
Take it
okay.
away, Mom.
So, you know, like I've seen a lot of decor in like if you're really southwest, that's kind of your thing, or south central United States, where you have kind of a ranch house look. And it might look kind of nice in something like that. It wouldn't be my choice, but I've seen it done, and it looks pretty nice put together.
So what
Says
about
the
The thing I think about is, and this goes with the deadheads we have too, the
Mhm.
antelope and sheep and goat, um,
moose,
moose,
deer.
deer. Cleaning those buggers
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
pain in the butt. I'll get cans of air that you do to clean out the computer and try to get the dust off of them, but it just accumulates so badly. I got to figure it a different
Especially
way.
the mountain goat because it's got the black horns and you can really tell.
You could see the dust and
Yeah.
you know, they were in a spot at the house before where they were above the stairwell and I couldn't get to them at all unless I got a ladder out and
Mhm.
it was pretty sketch, so they didn't get done.
But in the ranch house, there is some like ranching decor, isn't there? There's like the little handles that Dad showed for the castration. There's also I think there's some spurs hanging on the wall, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
There's some
there's
other like kind of stuff like that, right?
yeah, there
There's
is,
a few.
and I don't know, the Spurs might stay. There's must be
I think a lot of
20.
that's going to end up in the office when we
Yeah.
Mhm.
get things kind of rearranged. But
Honestly, there is some decor like that. That would
there's a
be
little
office
bit,
stuff.
yeah.
But some of those Spurs are
Some of those are more historical than they are and sentimental than I would
Mhm.
consider.
and like this pair up here was
decor,
my
you know.
grandpa's set of one of
Yeah.
the sets of my grandpa's.
Yeah.
You know, there's several of those sets that are some of Dad's, some of Mom's, some of my other grandpas. I mean, they're my uncles. You know,
And then you've got the beaded gloves.
yeah, I've
that
got a
We need to maybe change the box or glass or something
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So those
And
would
that
be more historical.
well, and I'd say that might be a question that people have is, in the frame, you've got all these particular things. Like you've got the fence post, the cavalry fence post, then you've
Oh, the
got the
cavalry
old,
post, yeah.
and then you've got the old branding iron. So what would they say, like when if someone were to ask, well, we have it in the frame, why don't you have that in the house? What would your answer to that be? Yeah, there's your
What-
fence post. They'd screw that into the ground and it'd be like
Yeah.
what
It's
we
a-
have today is mostly like,
So those
moving
are
electric lines and
antiques.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, this is a cavalry post. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
you don't find many of those. Those are kind of rare now, but
So probably, yeah.
that's an office thing.
But then how about
Good
like some
girl.
of the paintings? I know there's some older paintings. Part of them were created by Grandpa's brother. So
Nick.
my great uncle, he was a fantastic artist. Then there's some other stuff I think that some other just regular art stuff that you might find in a normal art gallery of like a cowboy praying in front of his horse and stuff like that. And I don't know how much of that was Grandma's and she took with her when she moved or not, but what would what's the difference between, I guess, for you having mom's amazing decor throughout the house and then having ranching decor?
Mom needs to temper Dad's preferences.
And,
And-
go
and
ahead and
how-
explain
how-
what that means.
Yeah, can you expand on that a little bit? Because now
And
I'm
you be
curious.
very, very careful.
I
because-
have final veto power and I get to say, yes, it gets to stay and this is how it's going to look, or no, that's not.
Okay,
staying.
so what would Dad put in the house that you would be like, no, not happening?
Well, let me just give an instance of hanging pictures, for example.
It's not the picture itself; it's where it hangs.
There is evidently an untold rule among
Or
many
how it hangs.
people. No. I can eyeball level pretty dang good. Oh,
No,
yes.
you can't.
Oh,
All
don't
right.
you?
Anyway, please continue.
Anyway, Dad, when he hangs something, it's like 6 inches from the top of the ceiling. I'm like, why do you need to bend your neck up to look at things? So I
Because
have
you're
to.
short, you have to.
I
bend your
have
neck
to
up to look at
arrange things
everything.
because everything's along the ceiling.
Mhm.
And it should be eye level, which is approximately halfway between my eye level and his. So I have to arrange how things go. And
Okay.
Dad,
I think
Dad,
she has control issues.
oh, there's that. Yeah.
So what would you say, is there a difference between ranching decor and like the decor you have in the house where you've got more like, I guess, woodsy, because you talked about the taxidermy heads. There's like 2 or 3 antelope, there's a couple deer, there's a mountain goat,
little
ram,
bit of
there's a
difference.
moose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Bighorn sheep that I
You can-
killed with a bow, by the way.
yeah, you can probably kind of mix them, but yeah, that's more of a wildlife outdoor cabiny, I guess, feel versus a ranch
But if
decor feel.
if you're a hunter and enjoy that stuff, you don't have to have any other kind of decor that deadheads go with anything. You know,
Sure.
and sometimes they have a specific room or an office,
But I'm not
still.
allowed to put twinkle lights on them.
No,
No, that
you
would
want to
ruin
put
them.
twinkle lights on everything. Oh my God.
But,
All right, and I
the
think
other
that's
th-
where
the-
we wrap this up.
Well, the other thing is too that Western and outdoor can also just be, or ranch and outdoor could just be Western. I mean, it all kind of fits together. And I think the
Yeah.
antiques and things we have kind of put those together.
Well,
too.
it's mostly sentimental stuff that's here
is.
that just happens to be ranch related stuff. That's
And
the
we'll have to
difference.
figure out if and how it's all going to go together once we have everything.
There was an if there. Okay, with that, we're gonna put this conversation out to pasture.